You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us.
Our top story tonight, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is investigating a murder after a 50-year-old woman was found on fire in Bradenton overnight.
It happened on the 4600 block of 18th Street East. Police say they were called at around 1:15 this morning. ABC7's Taylor Torregano is live where the body was found. She joins us now with the latest on this investigation. Taylor?
Jacqueline, Scott, the only thing here on 18th Street are industrial businesses to my left and to my right. But Polite's body was found in these back shrubs where businesses say the homeless do frequent.
Who brings anyone back here? It's scary. It's really scary.
Manfredo Nunez works at the business just steps from where Veronica Polite was found on fire. His wife brings their 4-year-old daughter for lunch there often.
There's no restaurants there nearby, so no one should even be back here. So it's just frightening. Especially, like I said, I bring my little ones to lunch and we drive back here, and to have cops in the middle of the day just parked there, it's like, what could possibly be going on all the time?
There are numerous homeless people who live in this area, and it was a man who was visiting a homeless person who called police to report he saw what he thought was a body on fire right here. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office arrived and determined it was 50-year-old Veronica Polite. Police say they believe she was lit on fire any time after midnight to when they were called at about 1:15 a.m.
If anyone happened to be in that area, you know, in between maybe 11 last night and 1:30 this morning, and noticed anything unusual, maybe a car driving slowly, looking for somewhere, maybe to go and do this sort of thing, you know, please contact us. That's what we're looking for.
The family believes Polite left her apartments with someone late last night. Police say they're interviewing a number of family and friends to determine her whereabouts leading up to her death.
Very early in the investigation, but at this time, it doesn't appear this is a random event.
Police say Polite had numerous run-ins with the law, including being a victim herself on many occasions. They plan to determine her official cause of death during an autopsy today. I'm live in Bradenton. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Police have identified the suspect shot by a Sarasota police officer this morning. Police say 35-year-old Thomas Gick is in stable condition and is expected to live after being shot in both legs by Sarasota police officer Adam Arena. Gick was reportedly on 12th Street near Ed Smith Stadium, a neighborhood that has been experiencing 3 burglaries and 1 theft in the last week. Officers were patrolling that area for that very reason when they spotted Gick riding a bike without lights on and tried to stop him. Gick allegedly pulled a gun from his waistband. That's when Officer Arena shot him multiple times in the legs. Detectives say the gun that Gick pulled was a BB gun.
He's been booked on aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer at this point, so he will be in custody once he's cleared from the hospital. But we will review all of the information in those burglaries to see if this individual matches any of those crimes.
Gick is reportedly homeless. According to SPD, Officer Arena and another officer rendered life-saving first aid measures on Gick after he was shot. Officer Arena has been placed on routine administrative leave pending the investigation.
A new state law will make public access to private beaches more difficult. The law backs homeowners who have purchased a section of the beach while helping to define where their property line ends. The easiest way to remember the law is if you're walking on a beach near private property, the sand that is wet is public, whereas the sand that is dry could be private. While some homeowners are glad to have the new law, others don't think it's necessary.
That doesn't mind as long as they want to walk up and down, or if they want to sit down and sift for shells or something.
The new law goes into effect on July 1st.
Speaking of beaches, a lot of people here on the Suncoast still at those beaches in spring break as well.
They're sticking around for a while, and who can blame them? Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrington with more on our forecast. Bob?
That's right. Beautiful beach weather today, and inland showers developing along that sea breeze, which is now west at 10 miles an hour. The temperature at 77, dew point Up there at 68 degrees. I mentioned those inland showers have been kind of dancing along the eastern portion of Manatee County for the past couple of hours now, producing up to an inch of rainfall. Nothing going on, though, west of I-75. In fact, a few showers were popping up near Northport, but that activity has now shifted inland south of Arcadia. Most of the rain is rather light. That sea breeze is well inland now. Some heavier showers near Bowling Green. You can see that activity along State Road 64 is pretty heavy near Bethany and Myakka Head. Now, the outflow is creating one or two showers there. We'll get some of the debris cloudiness spreading off toward the coast later on tonight. But as far as the rainfall estimates go, they were rather impressive in some areas south of DeWitt. An inch there, 1.3 inches of rain northwest of Wauchula. Lesser amounts you push south. Some patchy fog is possible overnight. The weather forecast is calling for a cold front due to arrive on Wednesday. That front, there's not much to it. We'll talk about that. And also, a rather fast-moving system will also bring us another front, possibly on Sunday. More on that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you so much. School resource officers are now in place at all Sarasota County schools. As of today, all off-duty law enforcement officers can be found at all Sarasota County elementary school campuses, along with the existing SROs at middle and high schools in the district. School resource officers will be in the parking lot while parents drop off and pick up their children in the morning and afternoon, and they'll stay in high visibility areas on campus throughout the school day.
It's definitely a comfort for parents to know that when they send their child to school that there's a police officer there that can respond quickly and immediately if there's an emergency.
The deputies in place at elementary schools are temporary. Sarasota County Sheriff Tom Knight is hoping to find a more permanent team for next school year. He plans to hire school resource deputies for each of the elementary schools in the county.
A group of gun control activists are speaking in front of Sarasota City Commissioners tonight. Groups such as the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence will be asking commissioners to add an advisory resolution pushing for a ban against assault weapons and include universal background checks. A proposed resolution for the city of Sarasota failed back in 2016 following the Pulse nightclub shooting because of state preemption laws. At that time, the resolution was calling for federal and state officials to work with local officials to prevent mass shootings by limiting assault weapons to just law enforcement agencies. This push now comes on the heels of the recent tragedy at Stoneman Douglas High School.
I think it's every level. I think that we need to see, and that the children need to see, that their city commissioners have their backs. That they know what's going on in this city, they know what the kids want, what they need. You know, they'll talk to all concerned, they'll follow the rules to the extent that they have to. But I think they can come up with some solutions that would help with the gun laws and help with people's constitutional rights.
Since these gun control activists are speaking during the public comments portion of tonight's Sarasota City Commissioners meeting, there was no one from the city who was available immediately to comment on this. We'll have more on this story coming up tonight at 11.
Sarasota man is facing charges tonight after detectives found evidence he was transmitting child pornography. Detectives arresting 64-year-old Kenneth Gray in February after a forensic scan of his computer. Investigators were first alerted to Gray after an IP address linked to Gray's computer was used to download multiple files of child porn.
New tonight, a string of vehicle burglaries in Bradenton has Manatee County deputies on alert, and that after 5 vehicles were burglarized over 4 blocks. Those thefts hitting cars parked in driveways at 35th Avenue West, 28th Street West, and 39th Avenue West in Bradenton. To avoid becoming a victim, always remember to lock your car and never leave valuable items inside.
A 7-year-old Osprey boy's dream has finally come true. Cooper Halverson recently returned to Sarasota County after the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted his wish to swim with dolphins. Cooper suffers from a congenital neurological condition that has put he and his family through some very difficult times. That's why Make-A-Wish Foundation sent Cooper, his parents, and his 4 siblings on a dream vacation that included private time with dolphins in hopes it would make things a little brighter for the family. And I think you can tell it accomplished that by those photos.
So precious.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, as guests celebrate the White House's annual Easter egg roll, President Trump talks DACA, declaring no deal for dreamers.
Plus, Florida's governor feeling the pressure over a batch of bills. We'll tell you about a proposed measure that's facing backlash from environmentalists.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Thanks to all of you who participated in ABC7's Caribbean Cruise Giveaway Contest. Join us as we celebrate our grand prize winner, Joyce Fakowski of Northport. Married for 13 years in June, Joy and her husband, Don, are excited to celebrate their anniversary on a spectacular 7-night luxury Caribbean cruise for 2. Congratulations, Joy and Don. Bon voyage. ABC7, we're here for you.
This morning, the White House hosted the 140th Easter egg roll, but the president's mind was on DACA. President Trump stood with the First Lady and the Easter Bunny hours after his series of tweets where he wrote about caravans of people traveling through Mexico and how the Mexican government must not allow them to pass through our country. He called on Congress to act and use nuclear option if necessary and claimed DACA is dead.
The Democrats have really let them down. It's a shame. And now people are taking advantage of DACA, and that's a shame.
Democrats offered $25 billion for the president's border wall in exchange for a pathway to citizenship for those dreamers. However, the president turned them down because it did not include changes to visas or cuts to family-based immigration.
Florida Governor Rick Scott has a little more than a week to act on the remaining 19 bills from this year's legislative session, including a water-related measure drawing fire from environmentalists. The proposal would allow chemically treated recycled water to be pumped into the state's underground aquifer. It's a move supporters say would boost the state's amount of potable water, but critics fear it could contaminate Florida's supply of drinking water. The governor has until April 10th to act.
Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast after the break.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark, Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Well, the championship game is tonight, unfortunately.
Yes.
Bob's Jayhawks.
At least we made it, Final Four. Yeah, that's right.
Villanova, nobody's come close to them the whole tournament.
Interesting quote on Twitter from Dick Vitale said, maybe they should back off the three-point line a little bit further off. Because, after a while watching that, it was kind of boring. They're just shooting the shot, and okay, they're going to win.
Making them.
Yeah. So I turned the game off, I think, with 10 to 12 minutes left. I said, this is over pretty much.
Yeah.
So, would make it more interesting, those drives.
I think the game is at, 9:20 tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to watch ABC, whatever's on there, right? Here's what's going on with our weather right now. We have some clouds around, moving in from the west to the east. That's right, associated with the sea breeze, which is something we see here quite frequently during the summer months. So if you're heading back north here in a couple weeks, you'll see these storms, if you come back during the summer, really explode here due to the heat of the day. Temperatures today were only in the mid-80s here. Along the beaches, mid-70s. So that little differential in heat causes a little bit more lift here. It has to be replaced. And you see those showers developing as the sea breeze pushes inland. Even on the east coast, a little sea breeze has developed. Temperatures currently right near the coast into the mid-70s there, low 80s into the interior portions where that sea breeze really hasn't had much of an impact yet. It's 84 in Arcadia, 81 in Northport, although a brief shower was around Northport earlier. But notice the cooler readings right along the coast with the water temperature now at 75 degrees. So it made for a beautiful beach day. Today, Casey Key webcam showing pretty much flat, calm conditions out there on the waters, lots of sunshine. And if you're heading out to the beaches, make sure you put on plenty of sunscreen, as that sun can cause sunburn pretty quickly in just about a half hour. Futurecast is showing these showers that are around inland basically dissipating here over the next couple of hours, with maybe 1 or 2 lone showers. I don't think anything's going to get to the coast. We will see some debris cloudiness, though, as those winds turn more out of the east later on tonight. Tomorrow, maybe not as many showers, but there'll be a few inland showers as we get more of an east to southeasterly wind. They'll have a tendency to allow that sea breeze to get well inland before the showers develop. But here comes the front, another cold front expected to move in, and this is what we're going to see played out over the next month or so. These fronts will get close. They won't do a whole lot. They'll bring a few showers possible. And then slightly cooler temperatures expected for lows anyway on into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday mornings. Just a little bit of rainfall left over in Manatee County. We had some pretty heavy rainfall earlier. That's what they're seeing now just to the east of Tampa along I-75 and stretching off to Interstate 4. So some tough driving right there heading off to Orlando. Right now the heaviest shower is around our viewing area south of Arcadia now. A little bit of light rain continuing near Mayaca Head, spreading off toward Wauchula. This storm type rather strong earlier, producing Titan impact of 2 out of 10. Just some light rainfall around there. The vertical height on these storms not all that high at 20,000 feet. You have to get up to 30 to really start to generate that lightning. Temperatures for this evening pretty warm, 70 degrees by 11 o'clock tonight. So temperatures staying a little bit warmer than average overnight. Some patchy fog possible. And then we'll see another cold front move through, or at least near us on Wednesday. I think basically Wednesday night the front moves through and brings us a few showers. Another front will move through over the weekend, and that front is also going to fade away. It's not going to do a whole lot. 77 degrees right now. Dew point is at 68, and the humidity at 74%. We have a west wind at 10. The high today, 80 degrees, and the low this morning was 65. As far as that wind and fog forecast goes, we may see a little bit of patchy fog tonight. That should burn off rather quickly tomorrow. Tomorrow looks great, doesn't it? High temperatures right around 80 degrees, running in through much of the week. Big storms over the northern plains, stretching into the upper Mississippi Valley, where there are winter weather advisories in effect for those folks. Beach and boating looks like this tomorrow. Southeast winds at 10 knots, turning to the south, and seas running less than 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. Well, here's your forecast. Some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Temperatures remaining warm all the way through Monday. And we'll see just slightly cooler temperatures, I mentioned, Thursday and Friday morning. Linda?
Coming up in A Place We Call Home, we'll take you back to the early days in Sarasota and show you how people entertained themselves back then.
Almost every home here has sustained damage. We're glad you're okay.
Oh, thank you.
You could hear the gunfire. Around the corner here are the children back on the job.
Back on the job.
How are you?
ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7 to get breaking news, plus first alert, weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC7, we're here for you.
A lot of talk about movie theaters here on the Suncoast, the popular Cine Bistro, and the renovations at the Hollywood 11 in Sarasota.
And it might surprise you to know that people here were talking about the same thing back in the early 1900s. ABC7's Linda Carson takes us back in time on Sarasota's Main Street in a place we call home.
Theater has played an important part in the life here on the Suncoast since the early days of Sarasota's history. There used to be a theater called the Ritz on Main Street, just east of 5 Points, across from the Crest Building.
When I was a kid here in the 50s, it was called the Ritz, but it was built about 1916 as the Virginian, and it was named after the gentleman's home state. And when it first opened up, the Sarasota Times wrote an article about it, and it said it would do a city 5 times the size of Sarasota proud just to have it.
It cost $25,000. As years passed, its name was changed from the Virginian to the Sarasota Theater to the Ritz. It was a gathering place for kids on Saturday mornings.
They'd have special kids features. There'd be a line of cars across the street, mothers at that time dropping their kids off, and a long line would form. And for 9 or 10 cents, I think one time it was 9 cents, and they raised admission to 10 cents.
The second theater in downtown was called the Florida Theater.
And that was opened in 1926 by a gentleman named A.B. Edwards, who was Sarasota, the city's first mayor.
LaHerd says that theater was more plush than the Ritz.
You know, the Ritz would be the kind of place you wanted to go up in the balcony and throw popcorn down. That's where you went. Florida Theater didn't lend itself. The ushers were more strict, and they had ushers in those days.
Mosquitoes were a problem.
And during the mosquito season, they would have ushers walk down the aisles and pump spray mosquito repellent at your feet, because mosquitoes were really a terrible problem in Sarasota during the summertime.
The movie premiere of The Greatest Show on Earth at the Florida Theater brought lots of big stars to town.
So they had Charlton Heston here, and Betty Hutton here, Dorothy L'Amour. They had the world premiere of the Toby Tyler Circus there. And, you know, Elvis Presley played there for an engagement.
And there was a third theater back then called the Aces. It was just off Central Avenue, and it served the African American community. And even though those early theaters are long gone from downtown Sarasota now, they helped us earn the title of the Culture Coast and set the stage for the arts and entertainment that we still enjoy today. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Linda, thank you so much.
Well, also a big congratulations to you, 33 years with ABC7.
That's right, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You'll be catching up to me in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.